Welcome students. Today in this session we are going to begin a new chapter, chapter 9, which deals with data structures, stacks and queues using list. So in this chapter we are going to cover introduction, elementary data representation, different data structures, operations on data structures, stacks and queue. The first part of the chapter deals with the introduction, the data structure, the basic data representations, different data structure types, etc. And the second part of the chapter covers the stacks and queues, which are types of data structures. Now, introduction. The computer system is mostly used as data manipulation system, where we have the data which plays the important role in data manipulation. So this data, we either call it as data or data item or data structure. When we think about the physical storage, like how the data is stored inside the data memory and manipulated, we get the data structure into place. So here data acts as an active participant in an organization's operation and planning, and thus data must be represented, stored, organized, processed and managed to support the user's environment. And this is accomplished only by using data structure to represent the data. Elementary data representation. So we categorize the elementary data representation as raw data, data item, and the data structures. Raw data is nothing but the values or the set of values. The raw form of data, we call it as raw data. Let it be a numeric value or a string, we call it as a raw data. So what is a data item? A single unit of values of certain type. So while we provide an input, what do? We should know what type of input should be provided. So unless and until we know the type of input, we can't provide the data. So for that purpose we use the data item. This data item is represented using the data type. Now the data structures. The data structure is the physical implementation of how a data can be stored, accessed and manipulated. Okay, so this data structure will tell us the work pattern of the data which is represented. So this is the work of the data structure. If we speak about the data types versus data structures, data types is usually like how we provide the input and output, how we represent it. So what happens is, like if we want to multiply two string, is it possible? No. So likewise, can we provide an integer? Can we define an integer and then provide a decimal number? Not possible, right? So this tells that data type frames the rules or the terms and conditions on how a data should be provided for manipulation. So if we speak about the data structure, it tells how that provided data works. Like for example, we are going to see stack in future, right? So there what happens is both input as well as output will be done at one end only. We get the input and we store the input and get the output through the same end, and it has a pattern called LIFO, that is last in first out. We'll see all these in detail, but just to explain about the work pattern, I'm just telling you about LIFO. That is the work pattern of stack. Based on the work pattern, we have different data structures. One is simple data structure, the other one is compound data structure. Compound data structure is further divided into linear and non-linear data structures. So a simple data structure is nothing but which is stored in the memory in a linear form, and the operations also take place in a linear or sequence pattern. So here we take array and linear list as an example. So array in the sense in Python we take NumPy to represent array, which has a set of values which belong to the same data type. And linear list is nothing but it can have heterogeneous data, that is it can have data of different data types. So this is the simple data structure. Now compound data structure. Compound data structure, as we told, it is divided further into linear and non-linear, where non-linear has a tree where it has parent-child relationship, and it will not have any sequence followed. So here in linear we'll have a work pattern followed. So here what happens is linear is further divided into stack, queue and linked list. Stack is nothing but if you stack a book, first book which is stacked will be taken last. So in the queue, you can consider the ticket reservation queue itself. The person who enters first will exit first. So it follows the first in first out pattern. And linked list has trains boogie structure. So the first set of data will have a link to the next set of data, and that particular next data will have the link to the next set of data. So it follows the pattern of a train boogie. So let's see the types of linked list. We have singly linked list and doubly linked list. And linked list is nothing but a collection of nodes. This info and next together we call it as a node. So the start is a pointer which will point to the node, first node, which will have the info and next. Info is nothing but the data which is stored there, and next is the memory location. It has the memory location of the next item or the next node. So info next, which points to the next in node which has info next. So we can tell that this is node 1, this is node 2, and it goes on, node 3. So if node 3 is the last node, then the next will have a null value because no other nodes will follow this. Okay, so this is how singly linked list is denoted. Next is doubly linked list. We have two pointers, that is previous and next. So each node, node 1, node 2, node 3. Here also we have 3 nodes in which node 1 is pointed by start. So this previous will have no location mentioned here. So this is the data which is stored here. The value will be stored here. Next is the pointer which will point to the next node, that is node 2, memory address of node 2. And when we come to node 2, we will understand better. This is node 2 and this is node 1 and this is node 3. Okay, so now node 1 has previous info and next. Node 2 has previous info and next. So info part will have the value while previous will hold the memory location of node 1. Node 2's previous will point to the node 1's memory location, data memory location. And node 2's next pointer will have the memory location of node 3's data. So when we come to node 3 will have previous, because node 2 is the previous node whose memory location will be stored in previous, and next will be null. So this is how the doubly linked list is represented. This is the tree representation. So in tree representation we have parent-child relationship, and it is a multi-level data structure where each and every node is hierarchically related. The topmost node, that is the node A, we call this A as the root, and the last nodes H, I, J, F, K, L, R, those nodes are called as the leaves of the tree. So this is how the tree representation is made. Okay, so here each and every node will have a link which will lead to the child. So this is how each and every node is connected, and this connection is made using pointer which points to the next node. The operations on data structures. What are the operations that can be performed on a data structure? So if there is a data structure, we do that. The purpose of using data structure is to handle data, right? So first we need to insert a data. Inserting a data is like creating a new data inside the data structure. So next is deletion. If after some process any data is to be deleted, then the removal of data happens with deletion process. Searching, we search for a particular data. We get a data as input and we search it inside the data structure. To search for a data structure, for deletion, searching is also involved because we need to search for the data and then delete it. Next is traversal, where each and every data inside a particular data structure is visited at least once. One by one, the data is visited and displayed. Sorting is nothing but arranging the data in a particular order, like arranging in ascending order or descending order. So next is merging, where two separate data structures, that is which belong to the same type of data structure, we merge it, we combine it together to make it as a single data structure. So these are the operations which we perform on each and every data structure. So with this session is completed. This chapter will be continued in the next video. Thank you.